Have you ever felt lost in the abyss of your own consciousness, where light seems a distant memory? This is often the experience of what mystics and spiritual seekers refer to as the dark night of the soul. It's a term that originated in the 16th century from the Spanish mystic and poet St. John of the Cross, but don't let its age fool you. This concept is as relevant today as it was back then, maybe even more so. The dark night of the soul is not just a poetic metaphor, it's a profound spiritual crisis, a period of intense inner turmoil and uncertainty that often precedes a new awakening, a profound personal growth and enlightenment. It's a journey through the deepest, darkest corners of one's psyche, a struggle with existential despair, a battle with the shadow self. This is the dark night of the soul, an odyssey through the abyss within, leading to the dawn of a new self. Imagine you're journeying through a dark, endless tunnel, unsure of what awaits at the other end. This is the beginning of a profound journey, a journey through the dark night of the soul. The darkness is heavy and all-encompassing, and you are yet to understand its true nature. Let's visualize a character. Let's call her Alice. Alice is at the onset of this journey. She finds herself in a state of utter confusion, her world turned upside down. The beliefs she once held dear no longer serve her purpose, and she feels lost with no clear path to follow. As time goes on, Alice's confusion deepens into despair. She feels a profound sense of loneliness as she grapples with questions that seem to have no answers. She questions her existence, her purpose, and the nature of the universe itself. It's as if she's alone in a vast, unfathomable ocean, struggling to keep her head above the water. But in the midst of this despair, Alice begins to surrender. She realizes that the struggle is futile. Instead of fighting the darkness, she allows herself to be consumed by it. She surrenders to the unknown, to the mystery of existence. This surrender is not an act of defeat, but a courageous acceptance of the present moment, with all its darkness and uncertainty. Slowly, Alice starts to see a flicker of light at the end of this dark tunnel. She begins to understand that this journey, as painful as it is an essential part of her spiritual awakening. She realizes that the darkness is not a punishment, but a catalyst for growth, a necessary process of shedding old layers to make room for a new, more enlightened version of herself. As the darkness begins to recede, Alice finds herself in a state of deeper understanding and peace. She emerges from the dark night of the soul, not as the same person who entered it, but as a more authentic, more aware, higher version of herself. Though the journey might be shrouded in darkness, it's not the end, but a metamorphosis into a higher state of being. As the caterpillar must endure the darkness of the cocoon to become a butterfly, so too must we face our own darkness to emerge transformed. This journey into the depths of our soul, this dark night of the soul, can be a mystifying yet profoundly transformative experience. Imagine the caterpillar, snug in its cocoon. It's dark, it's confined. It's a seemingly hopeless situation, yet it's in this very darkness that the caterpillar dissolves its old self and prepares to become something far greater. Similarly, the dark night of the soul is a period where old beliefs, old identities, and old ways of being are dissolved. It's a time of intense introspection and self-discovery, challenging who we think we are and what we believe about ourselves and the world around us. Picture a mirror, reflecting back to us not only our physical self, but our inner self as well. This mirror is our shadow self, the part of us that we've rejected, denied, or ignored. It's the part of us that we're often afraid to confront. But in the dark night of the soul, we're invited to face this shadow self, to look straight into the mirror and embrace the parts of us we've been running away from. It's a process that can be daunting and even painful, but it's a necessary part of our transformation. From the ashes of our old self, a more authentic, conscious self emerges. Like the caterpillar breaking free from its cocoon, we too break free from our old ways, our old beliefs, our old selves. We become more attuned to our true nature. We become more conscious of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. We become more aware of our interconnectedness with the universe and more in tune with our spiritual essence. The journey through the dark night of the soul is a journey of transformation. It's a journey of breaking down and building up, of dying and being reborn. It's a journey of becoming more than what we were, of realizing our full potential. In the heart of darkness, a new self is born, radiant with the light of authentic existence. But how does one navigate the darkness when every step seems to lead deeper into the abyss? You might ask. Well, the journey through the dark night of the soul, while challenging, is not impossible. There are strategies that can guide you, methods that can provide comfort, and practices that can bring clarity in the midst of chaos. Firstly, understand that you are not alone in this journey. Throughout history, countless souls have walked this path before you. Seek support from others who have traversed this territory. This could be spiritual guides, therapists, or mentors who are familiar with the terrain of the soul's dark night. Their wisdom and guidance can be a beacon of light in the seemingly impenetrable darkness. Secondly, practice mindfulness and self-care. The dark night of the soul is as much a physical journey as it is a spiritual one. Your body is your vessel through this journey, so treat it with kindness. Practice mindfulness to stay connected to the present moment. Meditate, breathe deeply, and listen to your body's signals. Self-care is not a luxury during this time, but a necessity. Thirdly, maintain faith in the transformative process. The dark night of the soul is not a punishment, but a process of transformation. It is a crucible in which the old self is burned away and the new authentic self is born. Trust the process. Have faith that even in the darkest night, dawn is inevitable. Navigating the dark night of the soul is not easy, but remember, every journey has a destination. The darkness, the confusion, the fear, they're all part of the journey to self-discovery and spiritual awakening. Embrace the darkness, for it is in the darkness that the stars shine brightest. Remember, the darkness is not an enemy to be feared, but a guide leading you towards your true self. And within that truth you will find a light brighter than any darkness could ever obscure.